I do love working in groups, communities, pairings with clients, and here's why. Yes, people inspire each other, they support each other, they help each other see things that they can't see alone. Community, especially intentionally cultivated community, is a positive force multiplier. And people also ruffle each other. They misinterpret things. They say things awkwardly. They touch edges with each other without meaning to. And they don't always get it right. When Tom and I started the Prestige, one of the members reached out to me relatively early in the process and said, "What so-and-so said really bothered me. I haven't been able to let it go." My response? Good. Then I asked, "What did you do after that?" Before I go any further, I want to orient you to the lens and methodology I'm using here, because how this lands for you will depend on how your body meets pressure and even being offended by others. The way you interpret challenge isn't just mental, it's somatic. And your nervous system already has a strategy for how it meets pressure. In the Somatic Skins framework, there are 4 primary ways the body organizes when demand rises. You can find your pattern by pausing this video, going down into the description to the link for the Somatic Skins quiz, and then come back with your primary skin in hand. When we meet it with presence, pressure becomes information. This is the terrain we work with specifically inside of the Prestige, not by smoothing edges, but by training coherence, body, mind, spirit, and strategy under pressure. It's an academy for applied somatics where these patterns and more are practiced in real time, under load, with feedback. Capacity here isn't theorized, it's trained. And coherence becomes reliable, not situationally based. So if this resonated and you haven't already taken the quiz, start there. You'll find the link in the description. It'll show you how your nervous system actually meets pressure and how that changes the way that you train, work, relate, and recover. That is the cleanest, clearest entry point into this work. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much. And if you got something from this, you can pop it into the comments below, but also take a moment and like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. All right, this is why I said it was good when a client mentioned they were ruffled. If our ability to stay regulated, clear, and coherent exists only in solo experiences, on the yoga mat, in meditation, in journaling, in carefully curated, controlled environments, then the moment another human disrupts us, we assume something has gone wrong. We might pull back, we might label, we might attack or disengage. That depends on your somatic skin. But what we're actually doing without realizing it is training our nervous system to equate challenge with danger and then differences between people as threat. We teach the body that discomfort should be eliminated, softened, not metabolized. And over time, that doesn't just change how we think. It changes how much life we're structurally willing to meet. That's my issue with how casually we label people as toxic. Real toxic people exist. True unsafe environments exist. But unpleasant isn't toxic. Awkward doesn't mean abusive. And being ruffled is not the same thing as being harmed. Sometimes it's just friction. And friction is not a flaw in relational dynamics, leadership or personal. It's how relationships do its work. Friction is how all creation takes place. Nothing new is born without contact, without pressure, without 2 forces actually meeting and generating heat. Biologically, creatively, relationally. This is not abstract. This is how our bodies work. From the body's perspective, growth happens when activation can move and complete, when tension distributes instead of locking up, and attention reorganizes instead of collapsing. This is effort and release, charge and settling, and it is a dance, a real lived conversation between charge and calm, tension and release. And yes, even erotically, friction is what wakes things up. It is a universal force, not something bad, contact. So when we treat friction, discomfort, as something to immediately eliminate, we don't create safety, we create stagnation. And that's why so much self-protection quietly turns into withdrawal or numbing from life. It's my opinion that what breaks in relationship usually can't be repaired fully alone. It has to be repaired in relationship, in contact, in conversation, in staying long enough in tough dynamics for something to reorganize instead of immediately exiting. This does not mean forcing intimacy or bypassing boundaries. It's about building capacity to remain present when something in us immediately tightens or offends, instead of reflexively pulling away and blaming. If the only way we know how to feel safe is to remove ourselves from others, we don't become regulated. We become brittle and isolated. Group work, groups show us where our nervous system still equates activation with danger. Relationships show us where we confuse discomfort with threat. Community is where we learn the difference between being destabilized and simply being stretched. So here's the practice. The next time something or someone challenges you, resist the urge to immediately label it or exit. Instead, bring it a little closer with curiosity. Don't be reckless. You don't have to force anything. This is not about creating damage. This is an internal orientation to come to discomfort with curiosity within yourself. You might ask yourself, what exactly is being activated right now? Where does your body tighten or brace? What feels charged? And what are you making that mean versus what is actually unsafe? Curiosity keeps the nervous system engaged without overwhelming it. It lets you stay in contact with the edge long enough to learn from it and decide what you would like to do. That is how range is built. If you always reflexively retreat from friction, your capacity as a leader, as a business owner, and an individual shrinks. If you learn to bring challenge closer with curiosity, your embodied capacity can expand. So let's put this all together. Discomfort isn't a problem to eliminate. Friction isn't something to avoid. And challenge isn't a sign that you're doing it wrong. What matters is how your current system meets pressure and whether it can stay coherent while doing so. That will reveal your current range, and range is trainable. That is the work that we do. This work is for people who are hell-bent on becoming more capable under load. They don't want endless processing, and they don't really want to be fixed because they don't see themselves as broken. They really want range, full life awareness, even under volatile conditions. This requires discernment, but it also requires contact. And challenging moments stretch our capacity. When we avoid friction, we stagnate.